So our next entry is on radicals, which are also called roots. So like square root, cube root, fourth root, fifth root, sixth root, right? So those are all about roots. Now you were given this packet, okay? So you've got properties of square roots, and you were to go through this and kind of get a basic understanding of what square roots are, right? So it has to be these problems here, and then these are the notes portion. Okay. So what we're going to do is this is going to be cut in half here, and we're going to put this side as our notes right here, and then this portion here, these example problems, are going to be on the left side of your page. Okay. So you can go ahead and pause the video, just like I'm going to do, and cut this page out. But be careful because this right here, these are separate, okay? So don't cut through that one. Okay, so you'll see that I have this half cut out and on the left side, this half cut out on the right side. So we talk about parts of a radical. So yes, you've seen this symbol before. It's generally called a square root, right? But there's not just a square roots, because there doesn't exist only square exponents, right? So when I take 5 squared, which is 25, the opposite of squaring is taking the square root. But when I do 2 cubed, which is 8, the opposite of cubing something is taking the cube root. So we have to show that, right? So we have to show that this symbol means we're taking the cube root. Now, if there's nothing here, which is what you generally see up to this point, you've only seen something like square root of 24, we assume that the index is 2. So right at the bottom here, okay, if the index, okay, and I'll explain that term in a second, if the index is not written, it's automatically a 2. Okay. Now you're probably asking me, well, what is the index? The index is this number right here. Okay, so if I am in fact trying to find the cube root of 8, my index is the number that I'm taking the root of, or the number that I'm, doing the opposite of. So cube root means I'm trying to find a number that I would cube to get 8. Okay? This is just called a radical symbol. Okay? This 8, the number inside, is called the radicand. And this whole thing together is called a radical. So what you're going to do on this side is for each radical, determine the index and the radicand. And I'm going to do the first 2 with you, and then you're going to do the rest and show your teacher to check your answer. For this first one here, okay, the index, which would be the number here, okay, isn't given. Right? So if it's not written, we assume that the index is 2. So I'm just going to put I equals 2. The radicand is the number inside the radical symbol, and that's 24. For the second one here, the index is 4, and the radicand is this whole term, 128 n to the 8th. Okay? Now you're going to do the rest and show your teacher when you're ready to move on.